Another small cap stock looked explosive, ready to gap up. Could this be a multi 100% runner? Let's get right into it. First, if you don't mind, smashing that like button, click and subscribe if you haven't. Also, turning on those post notifications, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, the ticker is CRDL. We've been following it for the past few weeks, and what's most impressive is how it closed last week at $1.03. Now, you might be thinking, well, we've seen higher prices recently, but we have not closed out on the weekly. We've seen a lot of wicks rejecting down, and this is actually the highest weekly close going all the way back to July 31st. So this looks ready to break out 111, 125, 126, and then that would be the 52-week high. So I think it can get very explosive after that, all the way melt to I think 150, 165, which again brings us a ton of upside potential here, right? If we just get to the top 24, 25%, get to 150, and then so forth, right? 50, 60%, I think very conservatively for CRDL, just needs a little bit more volume, maybe a PR, some momentum to give it that push. But once it breaks, I think again, it can be very explosive. Now, taking a look at Dilution Tracker, I know a lot of smart traders use this website, and going at the potential dilution and historical OS, we have seen rarely any change going back to September of 2021. The OS has barely moved 3 million shares in over 2.5 years. So definitely significant to say the least, right? 64 million. This is about 61 back in September of 21. And they have plenty of cash, over 33 million in cash or 32.84, which means they have about 16 months left of cash. So we don't have to worry about any immediate dilution or anything like that. The share price looks absolutely fantastic, right? It's bottomed out, it's taken that next leg up, higher low, higher high, and looking to again continue that sequence. So if we were to again draw it out, right, here would be my floor. This is where I'd want to accumulate again in this range. Sometimes it takes days, weeks, or even months, right? But eventually, right, we just have to be patient. It chops, it chops, it chops. You have a great price, takes that first leg up, down. Here's your higher high, higher low, takes that next leg up. Here's the second high, second low. And then again, hopefully we're going to look to break that trend, right? And that would be at around 124, 125. Okay, for clean numbers. All right. So we want to, again, focus on those key levels, the upside targets. And then more importantly, when we look at this range, what's really interesting is where this floor was, right? Or where this little line of resistance is, right? Where it wicked below and didn't want to close above. Now it breaks out and comes and uses this as a floor. So we see this all the time, right? What's previously resistance now becomes support. It flip-flops. Ceilings become floors, and again, vice versa. So I really like the way this trend is playing out, right? We have 45 cents, and then we have another floor here. I think this is at 60 and change, right? The low here, 66, the low here, 68. So I feel pretty comfortable right at around 75 cents, if that makes sense. Maybe right here, we put a line. So let's put that there at 75. Okay, and clear this drawing out for a minute. So when we're looking at the floor now, all right, we'll make this 2. You could see pretty much it really didn't close below 75, right? We see even in this cluster when we zoom in, right? It didn't really want to close below it, right? We see the wicks here, maybe one day, but then it recovers very fast. Wicks below, doesn't close below. So 75 is definitely a good floor, right? All this is doing is making it so much more easier and simple by just going zone to zone, right? Here was the time to accumulate. That's clear. Now it's taken that breakout. It's retested these old levels where it didn't want to break out. And now it's stabilizing and trying to, again, continue the trend like we just mentioned. So again, 111, 125, those would be the upside targets. It can get very, very explosive if we look all the way up, right? If we break this 200 day on the weekly, I think we see 215 very, very fast. Something else that I think is worth noting is the upside targets, right? We have to look at what institutions, what's Wall Street saying? And when it looks at their price targets, right, on the low end, right, they have a price target of $3.35. That's currently 225% up from where we are. Again, that's on the low end. The median is 353%, and the high is a $6 price target of almost 500% upside to where we are currently. 22% up year to date. Definitely looks like a bullish call overall. No red or underperforms, which is fantastic. And again, like I said, when we just zoom all the way out on the chart, right, there's a lot of upside potential. Again, very, very explosive if the volume comes in. It's not a lot of shares in the float, not a lot of volume that trades on average. So definitely something worth your time. Keep on your radar here. Ticker CRDL. Please, in the comment section below, if you've heard of this stock, if you invest in biotechs, let me know which ones you're involved in. I always love to look at new companies, new businesses, new opportunities here. And I love to, again, present them to you, especially when I see technical breakouts or potential to make a big move. So again, we've been crushing it lately. Callouts have been on fire. Certainly keep CRDL on your radar. If you've missed any of my other callouts, please check out the channel. Again, guys, have a fantastic end of the trading week. Best of luck to you. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.